Alright, so this video is going to be a complete site and browse abandon flow guide. So here's my promise to you. I'm going to teach you why site abandon and browse abandon flows are the most underrated flows in email marketing, how to create an effective site abandon flow, and how to create an effective browse abandon flow. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. So here's a little bit about me if that's what you're interested in. If not, let's talk about these two flows. So why are these flows so underrated? Basically, most brands completely neglect these flows and instead put all their focus into their welcome flow, abandoned cart, and abandoned checkout flows. And while these flows are the highest converting ones, you shouldn't be neglecting the site abandon and the browse abandon flows. Basically, abandoned cart and abandoned checkout are important because these are the highest intent flows. They are literally targeting people who almost bought something from you. But the problem with these two is the fact that the number of people who enter these flows is way lower than the number of people who enter your site abandon and browse abandon flows. People entering these two flows have a lower buying intent. That's true, but there's more of them. So this just makes it a numbers game. A percentage of them will just have to convert, right? So how to create an effective site abandon flow? One of the reasons why you shouldn't skip this flow at any cost is the fact that you can put only one email in it, okay? And not only that you can, but you actually should. The people entering this flow are not that near making a purchase, so you don't want to annoy them by sending too many emails, right? So there are only two reasons people enter this flow, okay? Number one, they got distracted while on your website. And number two, they couldn't find the product they like. So we will solve both of these problems with a good site abandon flow. Now, what exactly is the site abandon flow? As I said, our goal with this email is to achieve two things. Remind them that they were on our website and help them find what they're looking for. So here's the outline. First of all, we have the trigger, so it's active on site. Filters, viewed product 0 times since starting this flow. Added to cart 0 times since starting this flow. Checkout started 0 times since starting this flow. Placed order 0 times since starting this flow and has not been in the flow in the last 21 days. So for the first email, we'll probably wait 30 minutes. That's going to be our first delay. Then we're going to split test against 20, 45, maybe 60. But let's start with 30. So email one, probably basically the only email. Lost in choices is probably going to be your subject line, something among those lines. And the purpose is, as we said a couple of times already, so remind them to get back to your website and show them the bestsellers/product categories. Okay, you can see the filters here inside of Klaviyo. That's what's going to look like. Okay, so here's an example. Lost in choices, headline, okay. Bestsellers, 6 of them. Product categories, you can put maybe only bestsellers, maybe only categories. I like to put both. That's fine. Up to you. We'll have to test it out anyway. So we're good to go. Okay, so here's an advanced strategy, by the way. So you can remind people to use their welcome code here if they haven't used it, okay? What works really well is sending a plain text email from the founder saying that you reactivated their code. So basically, you need people who haven't entered your welcome series very recently and who have never purchased from you before. So you're going to remind them of their discount. This is what it looks like, the filter, okay? So person here has received email where flow equals welcome series at least once in the last 21 days. And what someone has done or not done, placed order 0 times after all time, overall time, sorry. So if this is not met, you're going to, basically in the no branch, you're going to send a plain text email saying that you as a founder reactivated their welcome code, and that's going to convert really, really well, trust me. So here's an example of that email. So for the subject line, you can do, don't tell my team I sent this. I wasn't supposed to do this, but this doesn't happen often. Something, that piques curiosity, okay? And here's the body copy. You can steal this template completely. That's what I made it for. So, hey, first name, I saw you never got the chance to use your welcome 10 code. You're going to put your code here on your first order. So I just reactivated it for the next X days, let's say 7. No hoops, same code, same 10% off. Just hit checkout whenever you're ready and use code welcome10. CTA here, put your link, obviously. If you run into any trouble or have a question about sizing, ingredients, shipping, whatever, it's up to your product, hit reply, it goes straight to me. Your signature, PS, after X days, the code shuts itself off again, so make sure you use it while it's live. Super simple template. You can play around with it. You can add your brand voice absolutely up to you, but this is the outline you can use. All right. So how to create an effective browse abandon flow. All right. So now this flow will be longer because people have expressed a higher interest in your product, basically. So this flows fires when someone views a product on your website and then leaves the website without taking any action such as adding to cart, starting a checkout, or even buying. So you'll most likely see this flow having 3 to 8 emails probably, but I'd stick to 3 to 4 at the beginning, especially if you're a smaller brand. So here's the outline. Okay, so trigger, viewed product, as I said. Filters, added to cart 0 times since starting this flow. Checkout started 0 times since starting this flow. Placed orders 0 times since starting this flow. And has not been in the flow in the last 21 days. You can probably add 30, 45. It basically depends on the value of your product and like the whole time it takes someone to consider the purchase, okay? So for the first delay, let's do 45. But then we're going to split test it against 30, 60, 20, 25, whatever. First email, reminder, just a dynamic product section, super simple. Don't overcomplicate this. This is really important to basically make it simple. And the second email, you can be a little bit more, add some more content basically. So you can wait 1 to 2 days. Uh, it's up to you to decide, but you're going to split test it anyway. So testimonials and dynamic product section again, you can maybe add like, probably testimonials here are the best use case. Then we have third email, introduce the discount here. So if you want to give discount, you can do that here. Dynamic product again, remind people, super simple, and last chance. So drive some urgency here, instill some urgency, and this is going to get that last portion of sales. So you can see what it looks like inside of Klaviyo. Okay. So here are some examples. So your gear is still waiting. You can see here, basically, literally headline, some body copy slash sub headline. We have the dynamic product section, CTA. That's it. Super simple. So this is going to be your first email. Maybe even without this, but you're going to split test that anyway. Second email, you can see headline, okay. Testimonial, so social proof, and then dynamic product. We can probably put the dynamic product section here, but I found that this worked better for the brand, so it's up to you. Then we have this, so introducing the discount again, dynamic product, the offer, bold here, sure, works well. And the last chance, so this is going to instill some urgency into your customers. Again, dynamic product section, the offer, and that's it. We have some testimonials here as well, which is going to add, some value, but you can do it without testimonials probably as well. So that's it. So here's some A/B tests to run. So first of all, time delays, as I said, countless times in this video. So first email, 20 versus 30, 30 versus 45, 45 versus 60, whatever. You're going to test all of that out. And then in between emails, so 1 or 2 days, you can probably add even more, but this is probably going to be the best one because if you do 3 days, people are going to forget basically. Then subject lines, obviously, preview text, again, like super simple stuff. Discount offer, so X dollars off versus X% off. So here's a pro tip. If your AOV is above $100, let's say $200, you probably want to give dollars off because let's say you give 15% off. So, and your AOV is $200. You give 15% off, or you can give $30 off. That's the same thing basically, but $30 off seems way more valuable than 15% off because 30 is bigger than 15, it's a larger number. So it just seems more valuable based on like, even though it doesn't make sense because it's the same thing. So this is a pro tip. You'll probably want to test this out, but you'll see that this rule most likely applies to your brand. On the other hand, if your AOV is below $100, you're probably going to want to give X% off because let's say your AOV is $80 and you give 15% off, you can either give like $12 off or 15% off, right? Which means that 12 is a smaller number than 15, which makes it makes people perceive it as less valuable, right? So, and then the last test, probably plain text versus designed emails. So especially for the last 2 emails, because plain text works really well with the discount because it feels more natural when coming from the founder. So if we want to start taking your email marketing seriously, first link in the description, you can claim your free e-com email marketing guide completely for free. Second link in the description, you can book a call with me. I'll perform a full Klaviyo account audit completely for free. So this applies to you if you're a e-com brand doing above 50K per month, basically. So worst case scenario, you leave the call knowing what you need to fix in your email marketing system. Best case scenario, we decided we're a good fit for each other. So we work with you to help you scale your email marketing and therefore your e-com brand. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.